Hello guys! Today's video is something that means a great deal to me. So this is the Adam Jones Epiphone Les Paul art series, and the reason this means so much to me is because since I was about 14 I have been a massive Tool fan, not a massive Tool, a massive Tool fan, and they have been probably one of the most influential bands for me ever since. And still to this day, every time I listen to their music, it never gets old. I hear new things in it all the time. And as well, because I've got synesthesia, their music is some of the most visually pleasing music to me that I've ever heard, which is always a bonus. But obviously I am mainly a bass player, so big Justin Chancellor fan. However, I'm a huge fan of basically every member in this band. I've got a lot of respect for everything that they do and how they really meld their parts together, and they just stack perfectly to create a masterpiece, in my opinion. So obviously they are something very dear to me, and as you can see, something I never thought would happen. Last year I actually got to see them back in May in Birmingham, and that's something I just never expected that I would get to do. I didn't think they would ever play over here again, and I just can't believe it. It was the best sounding gig I think I've ever been to. Their sound was just spot on live, and they all played amazingly. So, enough waffling about that. Hopefully you can see now why this is so special to me. I was lucky enough to get my hands on this a couple of months ago, and again, something I didn't expect to happen. I've just really gotten very lucky. But yeah, the one I got was this one. So this is the Not Dead Yet one by Julie Heffernan. Some of you have probably seen the one that came before it, which is Portrait of Roses with a Mouse or something like that. I've actually got that one here. It's not mine, but I'll show you the two because these two are very similar. They're kind of sister guitars to me. They have their differences. The other one is a lot kind of lighter and light-hearted. This one's quite a dark image, and I absolutely love it. I'm really pleased that I managed to get this one because it's kind of, I think it suits me really well. But yeah, here is a kind of view of the whole guitar. They have absolutely nailed it visually as well. They've even got the discoloration on the front where the Silverburst is, so it goes that kind of greeny colour. But yeah, absolutely stunning guitar. Even got the burst on the neck. So apparently the necks on these are made to Adam's spec. And I want to have a go on Adam's guitar because this neck is absolutely amazing, so I hope that his is as nice as this. If it's not, he's missing out. But I believe that it is actually the same spec as his, so that is pretty awesome because it's kind of like getting to feel what that would feel like, in theory. But yeah, it's a great feeling guitar. Mine is slightly heavier than the other one, so they seem to vary in weight, not by much, but just by a teeny amount. Mine's relatively heavy, probably about 9.5 pounds I think it is, but it's not the heaviest guitar in the world, and it's still really comfortable to play. I've been stood up playing it for quite a while and no kind of back issues or anything. But yeah, so here is the Adam Jones art series. This is the fourth one that they've released so far. I'll show you some isolated sounds of it. It really is a stunning guitar. So the pickup in the back apparently is the same as a pickup in Adam's, in the sense that they no longer made the pickup, and then they had to get in touch with the guy who made them because he'd left Seymour Duncan and no longer made them, and ask him if he would actually make one for these guitars. So I think this is the closest you could get to a pickup that sounds like Adam's because it's the same one. It also does this thing, which is the same as Adam's guitar, where if you do a pick scrape, you get all these really weird, strange overtones on the top that I've not really heard any of the guitars do that. they get some overtones, but this one does something really odd, which you'll hear when I do the isolated playing. But yeah, all in all, it's a very, very nice guitar. It's really easy to play, and that's coming from me, who is primarily a bass player. I apologise for my playing. Obviously, I'm not the most finessed guitar player in the world because it's not my main instrument. However, this has really inspired me to play so much. I love playing guitar anyway, but in general, if there's a choice between bass and guitar, I usually pick up the bass. But this has really rivaled that. I even went like a week only picking up this guitar. So this has fast become my favourite guitar I've ever owned. I absolutely love it, and it's the one that I go to pick up all the time, even above a bass sometimes. But yeah, the first thing I ever learned on this was Rosetta Stoned, so I kind of wanted to put that at the end of this video, but I don't want it to get taken down for copyright reasons. So what I've done is played that kind of without the track in a kind of slightly mixed up order. Hopefully it'll avoid copyright, and then what I will do is upload an actual cover so you can hear it in context and hear what it sounds like, because it really does sound like Adam's guitar sound. As soon as you plug it in, it's like you don't even have to do anything, it's just there, it just sounds like it, and it's one of my favourite guitar sounds ever, and it has been since I first heard it. It's just such a pleasing, even, clear sound, but it's got so much kind of weight to it. It's really, I want to say it's sludgy, but that indicates that it's not clear, because it's not. It's just, it feels like it's kind of being dragged around. It's really heavy, but it's so clear at the same time. Just using weird musician terms there where none of them make any sense. But I'm sure you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this guitar. Sound-wise, it's got a really tight sound. So as soon as you play a note and then you stop, it stops. It's like a dead stop. There's no kind of sag, there's no bagginess to the sound, there's no overhang when you stop. Even if you've got like high gain, as soon as you stop, it just goes, and it's amazing. Not even like in the sense of a noise gate where it cuts off, it's literally just, it's such a tight sound that when you play and you stop, it's gone. And I think for stuff like Tool especially, that's a really important thing to have, because you don't want everything to get kind of muddled up and become sludgy. And when you're playing stuff that has a lot of dead stops, you really just want it to be silence instead of having like when you've stopped, because it kind of lessens the impact. So this guitar well and truly does that in spades. It's absolutely amazing. And again, Tool's albums, especially the 10,000 Days album, is probably my favourite mixed album ever. So to have a guitar that sounds like that, and like outside of a studio it's able to do that, is really incredible, and I'm just really, really impressed by it. I think Epiphone have done an absolutely amazing job. Obviously, absolutely love the artwork as well. I'll show you some isolated sounds, and then I will show you the other guitars so you can compare the two. So these are the two together. As you can see, they're pretty similar, but this one's quite a bit darker, both in kind of subject and colour-wise. But yeah, really similar weights. There's quite a lot of weight going on right now, but they're both absolutely beautiful, and again, they really seem like sister guitars to me. As far as I'm aware, these are the only two that are done by the same artist. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more coming out who have been done by the same artist. But I'm really interested to see kind of what the other artworks are, because no one really knows at this point. I'm sure someone out there does, but I certainly don't, so I'm excited to see them. But yeah, they are very, very similar. The burst is slightly wider on the front pickup on this one than it is on this one, but there's really not much in it. They've really nailed it in terms of getting it consistent, so I'm really happy with that. But yeah, you also get this chainsaw case with it as well, which keeps it nice and safe. It's a really sturdy case. Again, I think they would have come in these originally, so it's really cool that they've brought them back. But yeah, I will go on to show you my muddled up version of Rosetta Stoned, which is the first song I learned on this guitar. And hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I'm very excited to make it. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.